like that. What did she say? What did she say? Oh no, she did. No, she did. Hush now, I'm trying to eavesdrop. 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 Eavesdrop.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Mahogany Voices podcast. I'm your host, Tish, along with my co-host friends.
Cynthia.
Joanne,
Stephanie.
Tracy, Ethray.
Yeah, so welcome, everyone. Welcome
Ladies.
to episode number 8. Yay! Yes, thank you so much for joining us on this another snowy Sunday. And it's Super Bowl Sunday. I know my Ravens not in it, but I don't care. I'm still repping the Ravens all night. Yes. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in to this new episode. And thank you for tuning in and watching our last episode, Over 50 and Dating. Let me tell you, that was a really fun episode for me. It was a lot of laughs, a lot of stories. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead over to your favorite podcast platform and listen to it, or go to our YouTube page so you can see our beautiful faces while we're talking about it. Okay. All right. So this week, the episode is about mothers and their sons. What a special relationship. But before we get into that, we're going to say hello to the ladies. Hello, ladies.
Hi,
Hey.
everybody.
What's up, girls?
Yes. How was your weekend? Tell me all about it. Another snowy, get ready for the snowstorm. How was it?
Getting
Fine.
ready. We got ready for the snowstorm.
Get
What's
ready.
snow?
Huh?
What snow? What snow?
You ain't see the snow?
Girl, that wasn't snow. That was some
Still out
dust.
there. Go look.
Hey, what you talking about?
I was driving through the snow this morning, so I know
Oh,
it's
wow.
there
Oh,
because I was
word.
sliding on some of it.
Oh,
so I
goodness.
know it was
And
there.
I cleaned it off my car.
Yeah, it's still out there. I don't know where you live at.
Side of
Shame.
town, I'm on the sun shining bright. Ain't no snow out.
Whatever.
That's that
It
cup.
is now.
I'm
Okay.
looking out the window right now.
Should have looked out.
Okay.
Should have looked a few hours ago when it was snowing.
Saw that too.
You got that cup out already?
It is Super Bowl Sunday. Like
Yes,
you
it
said,
is.
our
Yeah,
Ravens
that
not
means she has
in,
a lot of cups out.
but I'm rooting for Pat.
You rooting for who?
Pat.
Who's that? Yeah, she's
You
got a
said
lot of
Pack?
Pat.
Oh, Pat. Oh.
Will you just say the man name?
I thought she said Pack. Like,
Oh, Pat. As in
Okay.
Patrick.
yeah, okay.
Pat.
All right, well, you know,
Underdog.
we'll see. You
What
know,
underdog?
it's mighty strange, as they say.
Right. Who knows what's gonna happen?
That Tom Brady not with the Patriots, and all of a sudden the team he's on is in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Always.
Go figure.
They say he's been to more Super Bowls than anybody.
So we'll see what happens. You know, I think he 42.
Yeah,
This might be
that's
his
why they
last
call him the
hurrah. I think he
GOAT.
might be retiring. So
Yeah. It's
No,
time.
I think he's going another year. He say.
I
You
know.
said it. Well, I'm
Let's
rooting
see
for.
what let's see what God says.
Yeah.
They gonna go for them legs tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh,
rooting for the
you-
buffalo wing, the Old Bay wing, the baked wing.
Yes, she talking about the
all the
food.
snacks.
You say give me the
Well,
and the jerk wing.
and the jerky. Don't leave
Yeah,
it out.
girl, I can't
That's
wait.
Give me the Super Bowl food.
Right.
I
Yes.
love the snacks. Oh,
Don't
And the
forget
celery.
the game is good, but them snacks just bring everything together.
I can't wait for the
I'm
commercials.
waiting for the. That's what I was
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
and the
say.
commercials.
I'm
Yes.
waiting
Yes.
for the commercials.
I
They
can't
bringing
wait.
Tom Brady through the locker room now.
I can't wait
see 'em.
for the commercial.
You see him?
I
But
love the
yeah,
commercials.
Cynthia, you can't have that on right now.
Well, that's you in my house.
You gotta
How
focus
you
on
gonna
us.
tell me?
Focus
I
on
am
us,
focused.
girl.
I
Don't
bet
let
I'm
me see
more
your
focused
eyes
than
go up
you.
in the air like that.
Well, I
The
heard
game not
that.
on.
they're not going to have the
I'll
same
let y'all know
commercials.
what commercials are on. So
Commercials apparently cost $5 million.
Oh,
so I think
yeah.
it's like
definitely.
some of those regular ones that we used to see, they said that because they felt like it was kind of risky advertising in the
Yes.
time that we're in, that they're not
Yep.
going to do it, which
Yeah.
gives other people the opportunity to advertise. So they thought it was going to be more uplifting stuff, more things to make you, make you laugh. So I thought that was pretty interesting because
Awesome.
Yeah,
those
I
were
did
some
see
big
that.
name people, like, I don't know if we can say those, like the Pepsi, the Budweiser, those Clydesdale. We all like to see those things. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see the new commercials.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
gonna be different for sure.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
Steph, I see the sun.
Oh,
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Ain't
So
no-
what did I
ain't
do
no
this
snow over here.
weekend? Um,
Got on my nerve.
mm,
Oh,
girl.
did she?
Look,
Did she?
look.
Telling
do
y'all.
it?
They already know that's not real. 'Cause you like to skate with ice skates on people's nerves.
If there was ever another lifetime, y'all were brothers, and y'all were brothers in another lifetime.
Oh
That's her kin.
Yeah,
That's her
exactly.
kin.
That's
kinfolk.
my little
Get
brother
over
right
here.
there.
Definitely kinfolk. Ooh.
But yeah, I didn't do anything this weekend. I mean, because it snowed earlier in the week, so I was kind of in until Thursday. Did my supermarket run, and that was it. I mean, I did watch did what Tracy? Did you watch Wendy Williams?
I did not
I
watch
They,
it.
missed
they've been
I'm
it.
she
sorry.
been
I've been listening.
interviewing everywhere. And they still been talking about that thing.
Dang, I done moved on to something
Oh,
else.
you know what? I did make another vegan dish. I made
Yeah,
let's talk about
Oh, we
that.
didn't get to talk about that.
Exactly.
yeah, I
Mhm.
made
did
some
you
My
make?
zucchini
spaghetti was off the chain.
What did you make, Joanne?
zucchini spaghetti
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
with of course meatless meatballs, and it was very very good. I really enjoyed it. I should have sent y'all a picture of it.
Did you make your own zucchini spaghetti? You got the tool that makes it?
No, I bought it shredded.
Yes, she
nah,
did.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Give her time.
Sometimes
She's not there
I
yet.
have
She's not
I have
quite
one of
there.
those. I
They
have
had that
one.
zucchini already shredded.
Oh, okay.
Cynthia likes to do that kind of stuff.
I have the
The
veggetti.
curler.
Yeah,
you
the
did?
veggetti.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
But I do
Looks
have
good,
my
though.
squash in the refrigerator. That one I'm going to do myself after
I
we
did.
cut it.
I
So-
did the spaghetti squash. That sucker. Oh my God, it was hard to cut. I had
Right.
Oh,
5 different
Cynthia,
knives.
Guess
Yes.
what? My
What you
sister
found?
said that she found out that because she was like, I'm trying to figure out how to cut this thing
Yeah,
with
without
the
hurting my
But
fingers.
she looked it up and somebody said they put a wet paper towel around it, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and
Really?
it softened up. Yep.
Oh, it
Oh
softens the shell
wow!
of
I
it.
you
So
know
I'm
I
gonna try
I
that.
still had as I did the first one. I did the spaghetti squash with in the oven, and scraped it and tossed and sauteed some squash and some zucchini and onions together. Oh,
Mm.
so good.
So,
Mhm.
I did theirs with shrimp. Mine didn't have shrimp because I don't eat seafood like that.
Okay.
spaghetti
but it was-
squash.
I bought 2 of them because I was going to make 2 of them. And I knew we would eat a lot of it. But by the time I finished cutting the first one, it was ridiculous. I was tired. I was tired. My
So-
hands hurt.
Is the squash the noodles, or you put noodles in there too?
No, if you take a spaghetti squash and cut it in half and like massage it down with some olive oil, put a little bit of seasoning on it, turn it face down on some parchment paper and put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. Take it out and just scrape it with a fork. You have spaghetti squash.
So that's why
That's why they
called
call it
spaghetti
spaghetti
squash.
because it looks like
Squash,
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
It looks like spaghetti when you
Cook it.
scrape it with your fork.
Yeah. So
You gotta try it.
That by itself.
It said wrap it in a
Become
paper
stringy.
towel.
yeah,
Wrap it in-
dampen a paper towel and wrap it around it and put it in the microwave. I think she said she
Glad
put
you
it in the
told me.
microwave for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make
I'm gonna
some
try
this
that.
week. I'm glad you
Yeah,
told me.
I want
That's
that
the
other
only
squash.
thing because
So.
it's so easy to make. Like
Yes,
it's so
it's
easy to make.
it's quick.
So Stephanie, you said you made the vegan spaghetti with the
Yeah,
meatless meatballs. How was that?
they were the meatballs. I thought were excellent. You know, I brought them from Wegmans,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they were good. I was totally surprised. So I had broccoli, I had Brussels sprouts,
Mm.
onions, tomatoes, green peppers, um, a little cabbage in it. I had all the vegetables in it. It was really good.
You had cabbage
Sounds
and
good.
spaghetti?
Yeah,
Oh,
little
I ain't never put cabbage in
yeah,
spaghetti.
just little cut it up real fine and put it in there.
Oh,
Oh,
shredded up.
Not no big,
Mm.
not no big
right,
pieces.
right, right. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's different.
Yeah. So I mean, then I put I use what's that wine the wine sauce.
Mm.
You know,
Gotta have that wine, don't you?
Okay.
girl, I tell you, when I'm in
Juiced
that
it on
kitchen,
up.
I think I'm Chef Boyardee.
You know who got what kind of spaghetti sauce did you use?
I used some organic something or another that I've never used. Normally I use, ragu, but because it was a vegan dish, I used some kind of don't even get me the name. I don't even know, but it was
All I know is Wegmans got the best spaghetti sauce
They
that's where I
did.
got it from.
ever.
Wegman's gonna
But
have to
I
start
can't tell
paying
you what
you.
it was.
Huh?
I said I got it from Wegmans, an organic one,
Mm.
vegetable organic. So it has some
Mm.
vegetables in it already for
Mm-hmm.
the
They got
sauce.
the best spaghetti sauce. Their spaghetti sauce only 99 cents, and it tastes
Mm. Ah,
divine.
Well,
no,
Wow.
I don't
that's
think I got
not.
the 99-cent one.
Mm.
Mm.
I know I didn't get the
I
99
mean,
cent.
was it Wegmans brand? Just because you got it from Wegmans don't mean it was Wegmans brand. I'm talking about Wegmans brand.
Oh no, I didn't get Wegmans brand. I just
Oh,
picked up some kind of
oh, we're
organic.
not talking about
Yeah,
that. Wegmans brand is the
Probably
best.
got Nature's Promise or Betrollies.
buy
Oh,
something. It wasn't cheap.
mm.
She got Betrollies.
What did you fix, Zeph?
For the dish, I did the again. What's the name of the
Oh, jackfruit.
Yeah, I did the jackfruit and some jasmine rice.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
What
and that
like
was
is it
pretty
jasmine
with
good.
I
rice.
haven't
jasmine
tried the
rice?
jackfruit.
I don't
It's
really
really
like
good.
jasmine rice.
It does. I
My
love jasmine
daughter
rice.
love
Me
it. She
too.
jasmine rice me to death
Me too.
with
Hmm.
everything.
I love it.
I've never
Yeah.
had
So what
No,
jackfruit.
I
about you, Trace?
no, I didn't cook.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
You said that too quick. No, no,
No,
no.
no,
I
no.
didn't cook.
No,
Oh,
you
I
gotta,
did
you
try
gotta know yourself.
the cauliflower wings, and they were,
How was that? Now I did see that in the
oh
store.
my gosh, it was so good. Oh, it was
Well,
so
I
good. Okay,
made my
I
cauliflower
didn't
wings.
make
I
mine because
made my
I never
own.
made it, and this was the bird's eye cauliflower wings with
Yeah, I didn't find them. I went
the
to the store to
parmesan and
find them.
something. I got it from Safeway,
They're good.
Yeah.
and I ate the whole bag. So
Because I try
the
to cut back
thing
Oh,
I
on
bought two
getting,
bags.
you know, preservatives and things like that.
Hmm.
So I try to make my own stuff so you know exactly what's in it.
Well, I just
well, I
wanted
had
to
something
try it because y'all
close.
said
I
it.
got that
So
ice cream, that Soho ice
Oh
cream
my goodness. What
with
flavor?
the
With some.
salt and
You,
Oh
salt.
my
What you call it? The
goodness.
caramel.
salt caramel.
Yeah.
Salted
Oh,
caramel.
so
Mm, mm. But that's something you cannot eat in one. Well, you shouldn't eat it in one sitting.
Why?
It is.
oh, you
Why?
got the
It was just
paint?
my. Yeah,
Okay.
it's my own preference because it was really good, and I was like, oh,
Yes.
this at one time it can't be good for me, so no. But
Joanne.
it was really good, and I haven't been able to do dairy or milk for a long time. I just cut it out, so it was really a nice treat, and that could have
What
been why it was
what
so good.
flavor did you get? Cashew,
Salted
oatmeal? You like the
cashew.
cashew one?
Yes, it was really,
Mm.
really good. I was really surprised, but I was really happy about it because I haven't had ice cream a good 2 years, and I was an ice cream fanatic, and
I love ice
I'm gonna
yeah,
cream.
it
have
blessed
some
me.
tonight.
It blessed me. Oh, I got some left. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but y'all should try making those cauliflower wings. They're so easy to make. That's the thing.
It
They're
seemed
so
easy. It
easy.
seems easy, but
So
I
easy.
saw
Can we
it
just
and I
stop
had to
past your
get it.
house and get some? Can we
I
just
know,
Right.
right?
Without
I'll
all
bring
the
the
No,
extra
that's the
cauliflower.
sodium.
challenge. That's the challenge.
I mean,
To
well,
make
once
it
we,
yourself.
pandemic is over and stuff, I'm gonna cook some stuff for y'all.
I just sit
All
down
right,
and
all
eat. You
right,
can
all
just
right.
slide it out the door.
I'm gonna say
And
we can
maybe we
cash
could
that for you.
broadcast
Yeah.
maybe we could broadcast at your kitchen
You know,
table.
right? I like when I cook something for someone, I like to
See
see
'em
them
eat it.
enjoy it.
Well,
Oh, okay.
FaceTime you while we eat.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all
All right,
know.
All
thank
right, all right, all
I'm
right.
sure
But
everybody
yeah,
got a microwave by now.
a microwave.
Yeah, when we come and get it from you, take it home and microwave it so we can
Oh
eat it
yeah.
FaceTime.
Well,
Yeah.
since I don't have a microwave,
Everybody got a microwave, damn it.
you know,
Well, y'all didn't do anything else
It's
on the
Sunday.
weekend.
Yeah, we only
other
had
than
one
eat,
day.
No.
Yeah.
eat.
Mm-mm.
Yesterday I guess it was it was date night with Sarah.
Oh.
I can't even tell you how many movies we watched. I know I was the first ones asleep.
Oh.
You know, of course they said, "Mom, wake up." I wasn't asleep. But it was I can't remember this one movie, but it was good. It was the first one out of I don't know, I think four. I don't know how
Oh
long we
wow.
just stay.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey,
Good stuff.
have y'all
Watched
ever
Harlem
seen this?
Nights yesterday and the
Watched
Five Heartbeats.
24. I watched
24.
24.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Have
You
y'all
sure?
ever watched this movie called Passage?
Oh, all right.
Passage.
Yeah, it's a series. I thought it was a movie. So at like 12:30 last night, I was skimming through. I thought it was a movie. Right? It's about a little black girl who had these special powers that this
Oh, I
zombie
did see
wanted.
that advertised.
Right?
Mm.
So I didn't know it was
The series.
a series. So when I
Mm.
watched the
I
first
saw
one,
that.
I was like, damn, that was good. And lo and behold, here come the next one. So I've been up 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the whole thing. 12
See,
hours.
you
of
can watch series. See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
No, but I don't want to be up 12 hours. I'm sleepy right now. I've been up 12 hours watching that.
Well, just say I'm only gonna watch 4 and then come back and watch the other one.
I
Not
couldn't.
that.
I couldn't. It was good.
Yeah,
Um,
remember back in the day when the series you had to wait a whole week to
Right?
watch it.
Yes.
It was like
Yeah.
I mean, well, all the TV was like that. I mean, they
Right.
still have some series now that's like that, but all TV was like that. It was like
Mhm.
what? So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed your weekend. I mean, we're gonna have the Super Bowl to cap off the weekend. So
Right. I
So,
can't wait to get to them wings, Tracy. Can't wait to get to them wings.
yes. So are y'all cooking anything
Started.
special for Super Bowl today?
I
Nope.
don't know. Stanley in the kitchen doing some stuff. I saw a lot of wings out, so
Okay,
I guess he's gonna,
Stan,
I
can we
guess
come
he's gonna
over?
make some things happen. So
So I don't
I
know.
just go
think
buy the stuff and he makes it. So
I think I want to experiment a little bit since you didn't brought up the cauliflower. So I'm thinking that I might try it today.
Ooh, yay! Yes, let us
if I
know.
had some cauliflower, I'd try it too.
I did. I bought some, so that's why I'm saying that.
All right.
Yes, let us know. Delicious. It's
Going
so
for the
easy.
wings and celery.
I'm
Or
gonna make
sometime
some fettuccine alfredo with some salmon in it. That's what I'm making.
We had
That's
sound
enough to
good.
that'll make you shout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
come.
we had some
I need to do a drive-by.
we had Stanley made
Yeah.
fettuccine
Knock, 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 knock,
Alfredo,
knock.
but he put chicken in it, so that was pretty good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
I got some
good.
broccoli. I love broccoli. Ooh, I can't wait.
I am making some cabbage though. I love cabbage.
I do
wanna make
too.
some cabbage.
But I want a good salad and some wings today. For
Mm.
ooh, ooh,
Wait a minute.
yes,
That for this week though.
good
I'm
salad
making
and some wings.
Cucumbers and onions and green pepper,
Sounds good.
Girl, ooh.
carrot, olives,
Oh my gosh, this salad was so good. I just was like blown away at my own self.
Yes.
I was like this, and I'm using the I'm not really doing creamy dressing, so I use the Italian dressing. I didn't make it like I know Tish was like make your own, but I tried what is the Olive Garden salad dressing because I love Olive Garden's house dressing. So I bought it. Oh my gosh, it was so good, and I'm not doing bread. So I was like, I can remember back in the day, I would take my bread and put it in this dressing.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like trying to take my cucumber and roll it around in the bowl. Make sure
Yes.
Woo,
so
I'm ready for the salad and the wings.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to hear about the after effects after y'all eating all that good food watching the Super Bowl. But we're gonna get ready to move on over to my favorite part of the episode, which is
The Hump Day Stress Reliever.
all right, Steph. Come on, give us something good now.
All right, my MVP listeners, how are you today? This wonderful weekend. How you doing? So today, is Hump Day, and we're going to be listening to a nice little piece by a friend of mine, Maurice Eclectic, Mr. DJ. So we're going to move right on in. I see you rocking, Tish. I see you, shorty. Oh. Hey. Come on, ladies. Y'all feeling the vibe?
Yes.
I feel like going to the club right now.
I know that do make you want to skate across the street.
Hey. Okay, Tracy. Yes. Ladies, I so hope you enjoyed that little piece.
All right. All right. Thank you for that. Yes.
Woo.
Woo. Who said woo first? Carol.
I'm laying down.
I know.
Thanks, Aunt Stephanie.
Oh, yes, thank you for that. All right. Yes. So, yes, for our new listeners, our Hump Day Stress Reliever is like our gift to you. You know, it's so many times we don't take any time for ourselves. So, we want to at least give you 1 minute of your day on a Wednesday where you can just focus on you,
Yeah.
not anything else that's going on around you. Dance like nobody's watching. If you just want to sit still and meditate for that 1 minute, do that. This your minute. So do what you
That's
want.
right.
All right. So yeah, so now we're going to move on over to let the voices speak for themselves. And our co-host today is Cynthia, aka the Nutty Professor's in the house. Yay!
Hey, hey, hey. So, our topic this week is boys and their mothers. So, yes, I got some of those. I got some of those. And I want to start us off with a quote. This is from an author, Sherry Fuller. Sherry Fuller. And her quote is, "A mother's love doesn't make her son more dependent and timid. It actually makes him stronger and more independent." And a lot of times people say that you got to have a father figure. You got to nowadays we are so strong that we raise these independent boys and we raise them to be caring. And I think that a lot of times they build their relationships based on the strength that they see coming from their mothers. the love and the relationships that they see their mothers have, caring and sensitive. And mothers, we wear our heart on our sleeves. So thinking about my three sons, and I'm not going to do me yet, but I want you all to think about
Wasn't
your
it a TV
sons.
show?
Yes, my
Yes,
three
ma'am.
sons.
Yes, yes.
I remember the music. I'm sorry. Fred
Right, you're
Murray.
not by
I'm
yourself.
sorry. But just thinking about the relationships that you have with your sons, and I know Joanne, you have a godson, so it still doesn't negate the fact that you are a mother to him. You are
Yes,
that
right.
mother feel. What's your relationship like with your godson?
Wow. I know I love kids in general. And when it comes to my godson, which is like the youngest of all of my
Oh,
godchildren, is my godson, and so um, I love them. And gosh, I gotta be so very careful with this. So, but I love my
Ooh.
goddaughters, but that godson,
mm-hmm.
Mhm. Absolutely.
and I don't know if it's because we are women and we know how women are, but don't mess with
Mhm.
my godson
Mhm.
at
Mm.
all.
Not the nah.
Mm.
There was a nut in there, Joe.
He's politically correct. I mean, as women, we know our value and we know our worth. And as a woman, I know the value of my godson and I know his worth. And I don't want any woman to take advantage of that at all from my perspective. And
Absolutely.
so I know how a mother feels. Same way with my brother coming up being an older sister. I don't play when it comes to that young man at all. I cherish him, I love him, and I'm very guarded of him as I am with the girls. But when it comes to him, hands down, hands down. It's not a lot of
Absolutely.
questions. But I'm very protective of him. One, because we hear a lot about, protect our black men. This or it's protect
Right.
the young men. The hardest job is being a man, coming up, and a young man anyway. And a lot of them don't have a voice. But they were in a day and an age where this generation that we're coming up now, they have so much to say, and they're doing so much, and people are trying to cut them off. And so I think they deserve to have a platform to speak their minds in, to do what it is that they have the passions for. So don't ever try to stop him from doing what he wants to do. Just like I wouldn't want anyone to stop any of your sons from anything. I stand up for young men and young women everywhere. But when it comes to the young men, I really have a heart for them in all aspects.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And what about you, Tracy? What's your relationship like with your son? Because I know I have three sons, so I have three different relationships. I have to
Right.
be three different people with them, each
Mm.
one. So what about you and your son? And I know he helps you a lot with your podcast setup, and he cares about his mom simply because he knows his mom cares about him. So he practiced what he saw from you. So what is it that he's taken away from you?
If I had to give one word to describe my son, I would say he is a nurturer.
Mm.
My son loves his children, and
Mm.
sometimes you don't think you always got it right, but if
Mm-mm.
how he loves his children is an indication of how I love him, then I feel pretty good about myself.
Yeah, that's where he got it
Um,
from.
he was
Yes.
always called a mama's boy, and that thing will burn his bridges. And I started getting after people for calling my son, my baby, my 34-year-old baby, a mama's boy. Or, for a long time, I said, well, you start telling people if that means that you love your mother, then yes, you're a mama's boy.
Right.
There's
Right.
nothing
Hmm.
wrong with it. Most
Mm.
women marry a mama's boy because how he treats his mama usually
Yep.
reflects how he's going to treat his wife.
Absolutely.
And I have a good relationship with his wife, thank God. He is a good
Good.
man. I'm so grateful to God of how he's grown up to be a good man, a good father, a good husband, a good son.
Mm.
He's respectful. He's not perfect because Lord knows this young man is spoiled rotten. People say he is
Who
not.
spoiled them?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but he definitely tries to spoil me.
I got an idea.
I try not to interfere. I don't ask for anything from him. He gets really angry with me because he, "Ma, if you need me, you call me." When we talked last week about dating in our over, 50 and over, when I got a divorce, my son was not the happiest person.
Oh.
And after the divorce, and some years after I decided to date, he said, "Well, Mom, you don't have to go out on a date. If you want to go see the movies, call me. I'll take you to the movies."
Aw.
His wife was like, you know,
What about me?
so right. So after a while, I had to get his wife to become my ally so that I can go on a date. Because my
Oh.
son, he was not having me. He was like, "No, Mom,
Mm.
you just come. You can come live with us." I said, "Rule one: if you want to keep your wife, you don't invite your mother to come live at your house." So that's rule number one. But I thank God for him. He has such a good heart. He is a very caring, very nurturing person. He's thoughtful, and like I say, he doesn't always get it right, but neither do I. But I wouldn't change anything about him. I wouldn't change a thing about him. I
That's
didn't want to
awesome.
cut that apron spring. It took me a long time.
Wow.
I mean, I was grabbing back at it
Listen.
like, "No,
Look,
I'm
you're
still holding.
mine.
I'm still
You're
holding. So,
mine." But no, I
Tracy,
had.
I'm glad you got that lighting right because you was about to get a beating
Oh, he
tonight.
was going to get me.
Ah.
He was very
Beating if you
instrumental.
didn't get that lighting right.
He is so supportive. He is so supportive. Sometimes I have to like push him back because I'm like, give me some room. But
And because he
would-
gets it from his mama.
I know
Yes.
over that
I
helicopter
can't wait
mom for a
to
long
have him
time.
on our podcast.
Oh
Mhm.
my God, it's gonna be so funny. He has a sense of humor. He'll take over.
Mm.
He'll take over. But
All right, Zeph, what about you and Zori?
I think as women, we all know that we probably raised our sons a lot different than we raised our daughters.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Got some of them
my
too.
my daughter, right, has already told me that I expect more from her than I do Zori. I guess
Mm.
because
Wow.
we expect more,
saying
because our
what they
mothers
do.
expect more of us.
Exactly.
And I guess because of the roles that they assumed that we would take on to be to do in a household. But there's one thing I can say about that little person, that little boy. Always be our little boys. That's
I know you don't mean
Always.
it, but
young man. I can always say about that young man. He has my compassion. And like Tracy said, when you see the good in you and them, you figure you've done something right. So he
Right.
definitely has my compassion. He's always willing to help, no matter what. And he has that's a good spirit. And with our girls, we just teach them that they have to have all that and some. I never had to tell him he had to be good spirited or whatever. He's a man. He can basically, because of the norms of our society, can get away with being mean. He can get away with womanizing. And I could never get away with being having
Right.
more than one male friend. He would be
Exactly.
considered promiscuous. They
Right.
never use that word in a man's
Man.
name in the
Mhm.
same sentence. So there's
Exactly.
definitely different norms and traditions that I had to tell her growing up that she couldn't do that Zori that could get away with.
exactly.
And that's just like I told her, my favorite line, in a perfect world wouldn't be that way. But it's not. And this is what our society calls for. And it's going to take a lot to reshape it into something else. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's something about them boys, especially when they're your first. Because I'll
Absolutely.
tell anybody,
Ooh.
Lori thought the sun and the moon rose on me. And I was like, yes, what? Yeah, I could
Oh,
do that.
really?
Mom. What?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
My
my
mother.
gosh.
Mom,
Yeah.
my mother. Mom.
Yes.
Hey, well, Steph, you and your baby boy. Uh-oh, wait a minute. We can't hear your sound. Say it again. Say it again. What say you?
Can't hear you.
Your sound is out. Uh-oh. Nope, not yet. Well, while you adjust your volume, let's swing on over to Tish. Tish.
Yes,
You and
ma'am.
Scoop.
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 So I'll just say this. First of all, I wanted a boy when I was pregnant. I wanted a boy. I'm like, if I had, I wanted 6, but I was like, my first, I wanted to be a boy first.
Yes.
And the moment I found out when he came out that it was a boy, I knew it was going to change my life. And I just, it's something about them boys. And watching my mother with her sons, I knew it was going to be a special relationship.
That's
Like I
right.
just knew it. And then when he was 16 and he got his first job at Giant Foods, and he told me that I didn't have to buy him any more school clothes
Wow.
because he know I'm a single parent. He's gonna make sure he got his stuff. I knew then that he was gonna be something special in the world. I just knew. I was like kind of taken aback. I'm like, you don't need me, like you
Right,
don't
right,
want me.
right.
Like no, I want to do that.
Right,
What
right.
about
But
your food supplies?
you know, but just the fact that at that age he could look at the situation and say,
Analyze
that
it for
I
himself.
want to step up and help out, you know.
Right, right.
I always thought that once he became a man, I would not worry about him as much, but
Uh,
it's the total opposite,
yeah.
Oh yes.
especially what we're dealing with in the world right now.
Yes.
Like I worry so much about him because he is such, he's a kind person. He sees good in people like right off the bat. And you know, I just worry about, you know, the nastiness that's out in the world,
Yeah.
you know.
Right, right.
And I know he's not going to change,
No.
but it's people coming into his life. That's what
Right.
I worry about.
Yes.
But you know, me and Scoop, like that's
That's your
my
ace
road,
boom boom.
you know. Yeah, that's my boy, you know. I
Scoop,
had him at
go
20.
Scoop.
So, you know, even though I wasn't a teenage mom, but it still
No.
kind of felt like we grew up together, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
I was still home when I had him. And one thing I did learn real quick is that having him at home, I realized quickly that a mother's love is different than a
That's right.
grandparent's love.
Oh
They
yeah.
love them more. They love
Oh
them more.
my
They love
God.
them more. They like
Listen,
them more.
and
They
I
don't
really,
like us.
yeah, and I
That's true.
really think at some point there was a little bit of jealousy there.
Oh, it is. It is.
I wasn't jealous. I was
Because
just
I
a
was
wonder. I
like,
said, what?
hold up.
How they
Why
have
is he
it?
listening to you and not me?
Oh my
But
God.
how did they get their perspective? Like, okay, this is my grandchild.
I don't
They
know.
can do, say,
And
make
ooh,
anything.
yes,
Oh
yes.
yes.
So
Once he
I,
told how you talk to him.
Y'all,
What are
y'all,
you doing with him? What do
yes,
you say? I was like, what?
You're not wiping his nose right.
I'm
Girl,
like, this my baby. This
them
is
grandparents not no joke.
well,
my,
y'all
yeah,
know that y'all
so
parents
I
went
sit
through
in the
the same
grandparent
thing.
seat, and everything you saying is true.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell me.
absolutely.
Now, as much
Same.
as I love that son of mine, I will whip his behind for my
I
grandson.
know that's right.
And they
Mhm.
know it because he'll say something. They'll look at me like,
Exactly.
you just see this. And my son
Exactly.
be like, Mom. And my daughter
Right,
does the same thing. She like,
right.
they don't do this when you're home. When you're home, everything's different. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because
But
I
I
had,
remember that with
yeah,
my grandmother and my mother. My mother looked at me sideways a couple of times.
yep,
'Cause I was like, it was something about my grandmother that just made everything feel like home, home. It was just,
right. My son told me, and this is when I really knew that it was a difference. He told me he was going to tell grandma on me.
That's right. And you should have been scared. I know
What he
you
say?
should have been scared.
I'm gonna tell grandma on you. What?
What did you do? You did something wrong.
Like,
You feel
we are not brother and sister.
You may find out. You're about to find out.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
just wait till she get in here.
All right. Well, Steph, is your sound up?
I believe so.
There we
Yes.
go. Yes,
You
yes.
back.
It must was the internet. 5 seconds ago, I was telling Tracy she was gonna get a beating, and then it was my turn, and you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, see,
Like-
wasn't ready for you. Wasn't
Well,
ready for
talk fast. Talk fast.
Yes.
you.
Well, my son is the light of my life.
Mm.
Right? He is a sports player, and I am his absolute #1 fan.
Hey,
You know,
hey.
and as much as we bump heads because I got a divorce from his father when he was like 10. So
Mm-hmm.
he didn't really know how to take that. And he struggled. So I was like, okay, you want to go live with your dad? That's fine. So I had to love him from afar,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he went through a lot, but I was still there.
Absolutely.
I longed at
Good.
night, my son,
Mhm.
I'm running from this place to that place to watch his games, and then he wind up going to school with Zeph, and he's kind of like me, that loving kid. And sometimes I look at him and I'm like, where did this nice, polite boy come from? Because he's a total butthole at home.
Come from his grandmother.
Okay.
That comes from his
Maybe,
grandmother. His grandmother.
maybe,
Yeah.
but he's so kind and genuine,
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's polite, and sometimes his politeness overwhelms me.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves kids. I love kids, and he will sit and play and watch a little kid any day. That's just in his heart,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just a loving kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected, but from me, but I still love him. No, at the end of the day, but it's a joy. It's
Mm-hmm.
really a joy, and I look at him. But my girl, I love her to death. I'm like Zeph, we raise him different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people look at him and might say he's a mama's boy, but he's my boy.
That's
Right.
right.
That's right.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's
Well,
my
I hit that road 3 times,
boy.
and when they say, well, who's your favorite? You can't. I don't. I never look at it. They have a favorite thing they do for me.
Right.
Exactly.
But none of my boys are like my absolute favorite because they all are totally different makeup. With the oldest, that's Chad. Mm, I'm telling you, and it's weird because each one of them have a part of me that I can see.
Right.
You know, Chad, he's cunning, he's creative, and he's a people pleaser.
Mm.
Every job he's had, he's been on top of his game. It's like no time before he's running things, and I'm like, yeah, yeah,
That's good.
that's
He got it
me.
from his mama. He
That's
got it from
me.
his mama.
He watched me as a single parent do my thing. He watched me go to school. He watched me make a name for myself. And I can see him doing that for himself. He's got to make it. He's always telling me, "Ma, y'all should do this on your podcast." I'm telling you because I do this, and this is what it does for me. So he has a business sense. So Chad is my business-minded son. Kevin, woo wee, that's that little rascal kind of kid. Just anything he does is like unexpected. It's like, what? You did what? And you got away with it. So Kevin is crafty. Any way he can get it done, he will get it done. That's me. I'm gonna get it done.
He's the
Me
middle
too.
And
child,
then,
right?
yes, totally. There is a middle child syndrome, and I want
Oh,
y'all to know it
absolutely.
is alive and true in Kevin. Kevin is very crafty. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have dared done anything like that. But he takes chances. Kevin takes big chances. But when I was raising him, I didn't take a lot of chances because I was nervous. Because he just put that nervousness in me. Couldn't leave him alone with nothing. A tube of toothpaste, he was going to squeeze all of the toothpaste out of it.
Really?
Oh yes. The big when they had the big 64 pack of gum. This
Uh,
this fool chewed every piece once and spit them in the trash can. So he's a daredevil. He's going to do it. Now Trey, wow, he is. I mean, there's nothing that he cannot do.
Wow.
When he was young, when he was in pre-K, they put limits on him because they labeled him as autistic, but he was high functioning autistic. He can play any instrument you give him.
Wow.
Wow.
He teaches himself.
Wow.
When he went to high school and he said, Mom, think we're gonna go out for a play. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was so nervous, and I'm like, Lord, just watch him, just watch over him, please, because you know I watch over all these Baltimore City kids.
So I need a
Watch
favor.
over him,
Mhm.
and he flourished,
Wow.
and it's like he's so great. And when I watch him on stage, it's like he's just himself, So all of my boys, I give them so much credit. Um, and like I said, each one of them I see a piece of me in them,
Right.
and I knew that I had to be independent because, like I said, I was a single mom for a while. So they had to see me be strong. They had to see me
Mhm.
struggle. I never hid anything from them. And I love how kind they are.
Mhm.
Every single one of them kind. And I love to hear people talk about my sons, and I pat
Mm,
myself on the back
Don't it make you feel
quietly.
good?
Yes,
yeah.
it's such a difference being a mom to a son, because I don't have not one son that cannot cook for themselves. I don't
Awesome.
have not one son that
Mm.
cannot do their own laundry, make their own
Right.
way, you
Girl.
know. And when they say that, oh, you need a man, really? A lot of those skills they pick up from watching their mama, So yeah, in certain situations, when you have a rambunctious little boy that sees life in a totally different light, but when you raise them up right, you
Mhm.
raise them up in the way you want them to go, then all you can do is sit back and reap the rewards from what they bring to the table, what they bring to you. And I guarantee you, nail one of them gonna say curse word around me. If they curse
So,
somewhere out there and they
Oh,
don't
right.
let it reach
Oh,
me,
absolutely.
so it's like, you better not say that in front of me. And you still
Jasmine,
have that hold on them. Oh, you better not do that in front of me. You better not say that in front of me. I better not get wind of it, because when I do get wind of it, yeah, it's going to break loose.
mhm.
So I think
It's gonna break
us,
loose, okay?
yes, it's going to break loose. I feel like Buster Loose, you
I
know.
feel like busting it.
So it's, I look at other moms and their sons, and I say, how in the world can they be that disrespectful? What in the world happened?
That was my. That's
Things
what I was
happen.
going to interject. So the consensus is that all of our sons are gentlemen. They're
Right.
very
Yes,
compassionate, very
gentlemen
thoughtful,
first.
and they're mama's boys. They're feeling. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened? Our boys who were practically born like 80s, early 90s. I guess what you kids, your children. What
It's
happened? Because
I
there's
it's
some
was
kind
I
of
was
it's
playing.
disconnect that
because we
happened.
it's because we went
No, I'm
it's
just saying.
because we went to Forest Park. So
Right,
So,
right, right. That's
because
it.
but
we're
Right.
the class of 85.
Yes.
And
Tell
we're
them,
the class
Cynthia.
to
What's the
succeed and
slogan?
strive.
Yes.
um,
The
Yes.
class to succeed and
we're the
strive.
class to succeed and strive, because we're the
Strive.
class
We're
of
the
Class of
85.
85.
85. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
But I just tip my hats off to all these women who are strong enough to raise these sons in the way that they should go. Not so many people are that fortunate where they have these sons where they feel like giving themselves a pat on their back for what they see them doing out there in the world, in the environment.
I
So
believe
hats off
that's
to every last one of us, every last one of you, for doing the dang on thing.
I
everyone
applaud you,
saying,
ladies.
I agree.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yes indeed.
Yes.
almighty,
And I
because it is
believe
not
that's a
easy.
key statement that you made, that you wanted to raise your kids. I believe the difference between a lot of women then, now, and that is to come, that we went through a stage where some women didn't want to raise their kids.
Right.
I hear how all of you talk about how your parents, your mom, the grandmother syndrome wanted to take over and tell you that's not what you do. And so your sons wanted to tell on you to your
Mhm.
parent. However, you have young girls today who want their mothers to raise those kids for them.
Wow.
They don't want to
Hmm.
raise them. And I think that's a defining point right there. And that's where some of the division comes in. So they have no respect for their mother because they didn't take the time out to want to spend time with that son. And I believe
Hmm.
no child, whether it's a son or a daughter, they do remember that. That their parent did not want to spend that quality time. It's not
Right.
what you buy a child, it's the time that you spend with them.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Quality
Mhm.
time
Amen.
is so very important because it's what
Preach,
you
PJ.
instill in them. And people fail to understand that you need to instill that value and that worth that you want to see in your child blossom
Mhm.
and manifest in the future, and not just think you can put $100 pair of tennis shoes on them or a
Mm.
sweatsuit for whatever reason and think that they're going to appreciate that. They're going to remember when you told them they were no good. They're going to
I,
remember when you told them that they were this and they
Mhm. It's
were
gonna
right.
stay.
that,
It's
or
gonna
you
stay
called them
right
out of their
there.
name. That's so very hurtful. And children remember from the age of
Mhm.
3 is when their memory span starts to remember, and they start keeping that into their own little psyche. And so I think that's one of the biggest differences that is between some females today, versus when you all became parents, is that you did not
Mhm.
allow your parent to raise your sons. You raised them yourself because
And I
you
Mhm.
think
wanted
that
them
was
to
some
be
of
out.
us, and some of the young ladies, they can't give out what they didn't have
That's
or what
right.
wasn't
Right.
given to them. So,
That's
like your
right.
passion for
Absolutely.
young men, my
That's
passion for
true.
young women and mentoring them, I see that the young ladies who have babies, they're like, well, why didn't you do this? Well, ain't nobody said to me, So that's
Right,
when
right,
we come
right.
in and we start
Right.
mentoring to these ladies that you have to
Absolutely.
tell your children that you love them and not call them
Right.
MFs. They get your ASS here and
Oh,
sit your, it's the, oh, well, I never forget going
absolutely.
up North Avenue in the summertime. My window was down. This girl had a baby in her arms. She had one on her thing. She was pushing one baby and like a little 2-year-old walking behind. She said, "Bring
Mm.
your MF." I'm
Mm.
like, he too. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm thinking he too,
Right.
but she was probably just so much on her, but she
Oh,
straight
Frustrating.
took it out on this
absolutely.
little baby who
Wow.
was walking behind her. So how
Right.
can you expect him? So he's already MF in her mind. I mean,
Right.
it was all his fault
His
Exactly.
because you can
name.
see, yeah, where his life is going to be going. Praying not,
Right.
but that's
Yeah.
because well, ain't nobody tell her that they loved
Exactly.
her or told her worth, and so it
Exactly.
transfers to that. Y'all know I'm big on generational
That's
stuff,
right.
Oh,
so
You
absolutely.
that's
can't
where those
give what
things come from
you
with
don't
you.
have, like you said, Tracy. You can't give what
Absolutely.
you don't have. If
Absolutely.
nobody
And
So
pours
you,
into them, they can't pour it back
yeah,
into. Because that's one thing our parents did to us. They
mhm,
right.
gave
Right.
us. That's not
Love,
monetary stuff, but
self-worth.
yeah.
love
And
unconditional.
Hmm.
even teachers
Mhm.
like Cynthia would have
Yes.
been my
Mhm.
most favorite teacher. Cynthia, I don't know if you remember Miss McMillan from
Oh,
who
she used to keep my hands warm. She would put my hands under her big
What
legs
school
and
was that?
that was a
Dr.
Martin Luther
Martin
King.
Luther King,
Oh,
Miss
really?
Oh,
McMillan.
Yeah,
wow.
and she passed
Oh,
away
she was
about
the
2 years ago.
best.
And I'm telling you, I was devastated. But y'all, she had the biggest booms. Y'all remember the teacher with the big
Yes.
pointed bras?
Yes.
Yes,
Woo!
yes.
But
That
this
was Miss
lady
That was a
would.
good bra.
McMillan.
It was a good,
Her
and she wound up
people.
teaching my son. But this lady would give the best hugs, and sometimes we
Oh,
coming from home,
wow.
Yes.
may have got yelled at or something. But that lady,
Mhm.
she invested in me, and when I was a
Mm.
daydream, and I would look out the window and just go into it because it was a good place for me. But
Yeah.
she, Tracy, come back, do your work, and come over and hug me and
Mhm.
love on me. Those teachers
Wow.
made a
Yeah.
difference. There were
Oh,
pivotal times
absolutely.
in my
Yes.
life, and I don't know if
Absolutely.
we have all those teachers. So it's
Right.
different women that can input into these young ladies' lives, and I think that that's what
Yeah.
sorry about my
And
soapbox,
she
but I think we
oh
all can
no,
Right.
do that.
because
No, you
I'm
good.
glad you brought that up because she's like like a major inspiration to me
Yes.
because I would get to school early and my fingers were so cold. Come here, baby, come here. I know how to warm your hands up. I mean, just like that grandma kind of soul, and I don't even know how many times she did it. She may have done it once and it just stuck,
Mhm.
Right.
you know, and it's that compassion that she
Saw
gave
you.
to me that, it's like you can't get that anywhere else.
No.
I had a student the other day. I said, scratch my back. And he's on the screen like that. I was like, harder, harder. He's going fast. I was like, go down a little bit, go down a little bit. I can hear him scratching the screen. And I was like, he said, did I get it? I said, wait a minute, go again, go again. I said, oh, that's better. He's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, this boy really feel like he's scratching my back, you
That's
know.
smart. He
And
wants
he
So
to
will
help.
remember it though. He will
he's
remember.
one of those ones that's always just out there not paying attention. He does his class from here, does his class from there. He's just all over the place,
Mhm.
but just trying to center him and bring him in and things like that.
Right.
So, and we got to take care of all of them boys. We took care of
Yes.
ours.
Mhm.
Yes, we did.
So,
Mhm.
Yes, we
even when I
did.
see little boys outside the market, when I was with Jasmine, she was like, "Mom, please don't say anything." Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes.
Because maybe they don't have anybody to tell them.
You're right.
Stop
Exactly.
playing on those cards. The cards for
Yeah.
people that ride. Stop playing on that car. Okay. And he stopped. So it's just that mothering should not just
Yes.
stop with
Yeah.
our sons.
Mhm.
It needs to expand, and you never know who you're touching. I have
Absolutely.
some of my sons, I'm teaching their girls now, their kids now.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna do for them the same thing I'm gonna do for their children, the same thing I did for them.
Yeah.
Right.
you know
Right.
so we got to teach one, reach one, dig
Yeah.
back, and keep going forward with it.
So,
One
you
thing I
know,
will say is that I really think that it's important, especially for young boys when they get to like middle school
Mm,
and especially high school, to
mm,
and to have male teachers.
mm-hmm,
I do know that my son, um, when he got to middle school and having some male teachers, I could see a difference. Like it was really pivotal for that age to
mm-hmm.
experience having male teachers. Um, he had this one particular female teacher that you know how boys, that is puberty time,
That's
and
right.
they were so in love with this teacher, and his grades like started to slip a little bit, and she actually sent out something saying that she wanted to have a conference. So I was like, what is going on? What are you doing? Why are you not turning your homework in? Why, and he's like, I don't know. So the moment I got there and saw her, well, first of all, when I got there and I had met him up at the school, so he was already there and two of his friends. So when they saw me, they were like, "Oh man, your mama up here!" Like, and then I could hear them
They already
talking
knew.
about the teacher.
They already knew.
So then when I actually saw her, I was like, "Oh my god, I know what it is." And it's not just him, because I
Right.
could see they all probably huddled up talking about her. So
Giggling.
when I yeah, so when I let her, tell me everything. And she's just a smiling, and Marcel, he's a really good student, but for some reason, like he get with his friends and he's a lot of chatter. So I asked Scoop to go out in the hallway because I didn't want to embarrass him.
Scoop is Marcel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I only
So
knew Scoop all these
um,
years.
so I told her, I said, I just want to let you know, and I said I will definitely get him together. I said, but I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. And I told her, and she said, "You really think?" I was like, "Yes, indeed." I said, "These boys are going through puberty." I said, and she was young too.
Mhm.
She was, I mean, not, like what they look at her like, oh, they close in age. But I
Right.
was like, oh my God. I was like, that's what it is. I said, I'm telling you, that's what it is. But I mean, he got himself together.
Right.
But I just really think that, the male teachers that he had, and in particular, the black male teachers,
Mhm.
was really good. Like he just taught in a whole different way, like the same caring that we're talking about, passing it
Right.
on. Like he was giving those young black boys that, and they needed it,
I
They did.
agree. I know once in Tehran's class, he had a male teacher, and he was telling me how hard it was for him to teach these young men he had to tell them, sit down, behave, be quiet, pay attention. And they like, I'm not doing nothing. You don't tell me what to do, because at home they were told they were the man of the house. And this guy was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, how can you be the man of the house and you 11? Well, when I go home, I got to take out the trash. My mother told me I'm the man of the house. You can't tell me what to do. And he said his biggest battle was battling these little men who think that
Wow.
they
Right,
are men because
Wow.
mommy said you're the man of the house, but she's
right.
wrong. We
Wow.
know that. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
he said
funny.
it was an uphill battle for him. But I mean, he enjoyed what he did. But I just said, why these ladies telling these boys they the man of the house?
Right.
I don't know
Or
why
they
either.
don't get affirmation at all.
Right.
I know my god brother, my godson's dad. He was working at a school, and he said he used to just talk to the young men so much because they just was somewhat kind of lost, like y'all talked about earlier. Some people can't give what they don't have, and so it's like he took so many young men underneath of his wing. And so that's why I look at my godson, knowing that my godson, they have examples, so to speak. And so when you
Right.
set the example for them to follow, young men to follow, they take heed to that. If we was to take a toll with young men today and ask them who was influential in their life, they're going to give you that person who sowed that deepest seed.
Right.
Whether it was, Miss McMillan sitting on Cynthia's hand, raised up something
Yes.
in her spirit.
Oh,
It's
never
somebody who
forget.
sowed something into them that made them want to be better and want, for lack of better words, teach another, reach one, teach one. And so when that seed is planted in these young men, I believe that they'll go forth and do it,
That's true.
as opposed to just being shut off. I mean, I believe that we need to go back and get our young men that are lost. We
Yeah.
have to give them the same affirmations that were given to us, even if they're not our kids.
Right.
And some of them are grown. I mean, I look at the career that I was in. I mean, I had grown men saying some things to me that were unbelievable, that you would say to a woman, and you came from a woman.
Wow.
But knowing that they may have never gotten that love and compassion, I used to say, look in the mirror. You don't see the reflection of your mom or your sister. You would never say that to them.
Right.
So don't say it to me. Sometimes you just have to put them on the right track to make them think. And when they start thinking about it, it'll change their way of thinking so that they'll be more respectful, and know that, what, I got to have respect for women. Tupac wrote that song. Y'all know he did. But, the respect of women, especially
Right.
you came from one.
Yeah.
So
Right.
respect them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I like to say it's not always about they need a father figure. Some of them do, some of them don't, or just grab them by the hand and take them and love them and just start raising them
Well,
to do the right
Stephanie,
thing.
I agree with most of what you said, but they do need father figures because I'm
Yeah.
a woman. I could have never taught Zoe to be a man. I couldn't teach him how to stand up and pee. I couldn't teach him anything the men learn how to do. So I understand what you're saying. So women, get you a good father figure or get you a good
Yes.
male role model for those boys.
Absolutely.
Because I am from the belief that a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man.
Zep,
A man,
I
a man
agree.
can't
I
teach
agree with you, Zep.
woman how to be a
But
woman.
but you have some women who will be with a man, right, for the sake of saying, I need a man to raise my kid.
No, you
Help
don't
me
have to
raise
be
my
with him.
kid.
You don't have to be with
But
him. You can just have a
but
role model for him.
Right.
You don't
Exactly.
have to
be
be with
careful
him.
with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Be careful
Definitely
with
don't
that.
have to be with them. You don't have to be with the man, but you need a good role model figure
Yes.
for your male son.
Yes. And
I
my
just
dad
always say
was a
that
good one.
I raise my son to be a productive person in society. I am not a man, nor do I want to be a man. And like Zeph said, there are some things that I know that I can't teach him. I can't get him to understand because I don't speak male language.
Me
Right.
either.
So I'm thankful that I have three brothers.
Brothers, yeah.
Thankful when my dad was alive, like they have a very special relationship.
Absolutely.
And the conversations I can't understand because I'm not a man. So it is
Right.
important, like Zeph said, to have a role model. Like you can raise your son,
Mm-hmm.
but you are
Absolutely.
not a man. You can't give him those things or those conversations that he would get from a man.
And
So
I think we've
Absolutely.
taken too much. We've taken too much because I think all of us have family that helped
yes,
us
oh,
raise
absolutely.
these
And
Yes.
that's
children.
and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that women don't have to feel like they have to have a man,
Right. They don't.
right?
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a man in your life as long as you have some role models to
Models, right.
back you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't
A
need a man.
grandfather.
Yes,
Some
Right.
uncles.
right.
Yeah.
And
So
Or your
that's
best friend may
so
be a
you gotta
man.
Yeah.
include that statement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because when I was a single parent, I was 3 in before I met Stanley. and I think Jasmine was 2 years old when I met him. There's no way I would have never taken my sons fishing. I just wasn't interested. I ain't eat fish. Well, I'm gonna take him fishing. You know,
Right.
you know, he came along.
You don't eat fish.
If Stanley cooks it. But again, like I could have never taught them how to change a tire and all of that. You know, I used to cry and scream at Stanley. They don't need to be out there with them cars with you. They don't need to. Now Chad has taken that trade and he's the manager of Valvoline, or was. He moved to another position just
Right.
recently. Manager of Valvoline. That wasn't me. I didn't do any of that. And he will come back and say, man, I'm so glad that Stanley kept us out in the rain. And you know,
Those
but
things
to
can
me
make
that
a
was
difference.
that
You-
was
you know what's funny,
torture just
Cynthia?
watching it. Wait a minute, let me finish.
Yeah.
It was torture. It was torture watching that. And it's like they don't need to know that. You know, all I could see was pain on my chest.
Right.
But
right.
I couldn't see the value that what he was doing with them and these cars. What they needed this, you know. So I never taught that. Now
You was
I
being a mother. You wanted
yeah,
to save them.
I was, you
Now
know,
see,
y'all got to
see-
clean up. You got to
see the-
cook this, and they know those things for me. But those things that they need to survive out there when their vehicles break down, when somebody
That's
else's
right,
vehicles
that's
break
right.
down. Some of these things that I could never do. You know, I probably could if I had that as a trade, but I
Right.
don't. So I'm not saying that I needed him for that, but thank you.
Right.
But you
Thank
know
Right.
what?
You
I
know,
must
appreciate
be
you.
I must be the exception to the rule
go ahead, exception.
because my dad, right, made sure I knew how to do everything. So I had to check the oil, the transmission. I had to learn how to fix a flat,
Wow.
right? Anything that the major parts of a car, windshield wipers, windshield wiper fluids, I had to know.
So
Because he
listen,
said,
I took
wait a
that
minute,
up at Forest Park.
right?
I
I
didn't
didn't,
want to do
right?
it.
But I passed that on to my daughter and my son.
Oh, good for you.
You follow what I'm saying? So there is
Mhm.
like an exception to the rule where you said Stanley had to teach that to your sons, right?
Mhm.
I taught that to my son and my daughter.
Good for you.
That's
You
a
know,
blessing.
this is what you need to do. When she went away to college, I was like, look, I'm gonna teach you like my father taught me, right? So again, I had a dad all my life. My kids didn't.
That's a
And
blessing.
there's some people that don't. And then you have role models who will teach you these things, and then you have some
Sorry.
Right.
that won't.
Right.
And like I said, you know, I must be the exception to the rule because what I learned, I had to teach it to my kids. My father also taught me how to screw with a screw gun, you know, put up drywall, mud, anything in a house. My father taught me how to do.
I
He
don't think
imparted
it's
to
a,
you with him. What
right.
he had in him. He
I
gave
don't
that
think
to
it's
you.
necessarily a rule. It's just that that's what happened in your household.
Right,
Yeah, that's what
right,
happened
I
in your
mean, you were
household.
the only girl out of 3. So
Right.
it's like I can see that happening.
Happening.
You know,
You have all of this male
Right.
testosterone around you, all of this going in. You're gonna
Right.
jump in. When I
That he not
was
gonna have them playing. He not gonna say, "Okay, we're gonna play dolls." All that
yeah,
testosterone,
everybody
they
get
not
out
gonna
your
do
head.
that.
Right.
You gonna learn
All
what we
y'all get
know.
out your right. Absolutely. You know, and
I was the
thinking
oldest.
about in thinking about when I was a single parent, I learned how to do a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
I could put up a ceiling fan. Yes, I can.
Right.
You know, so I had to learn. So I can hook up a washer and a dryer because
Yeah,
that's what
girl.
I had to
Had to
do.
learn.
Right,
yeah.
But am I going to teach them? No, since he got it, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead and do that. You know, back to what we were talking about last week when
But
Joanne
if you were
said, let a
single, you would
man,
teach him.
wait a minute, but when Joanne was saying, let a man be a man, go ahead and be a man and you can show them
Absolutely.
those things
Right.
now that I don't have to. But if the wires were crossed, if the roles have changed and
If I
I did
have
not
to, I
have
would.
him,
Right.
I would have to. But
Yes.
since now I don't have to, and now God has sent someone to me to relieve me of
Yep.
those things, go right ahead and
Do
be
you.
the man you want to be. But
Right.
our bond between our sons can never be
No.
broken.
No,
Ever.
Lord.
Never be
Mm-mm.
broken, no matter what we do. Because
I
I know
love it.
some parents who are horrible to their sons, but that's who they want to see. They want to see their mothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
So
They
I look. I don't know
absolutely
about you
do.
guys, but I look frozen on my screen.
Yeah, you are.
Oh
now,
yeah.
now,
Now
you,
you're
now,
not.
you
But
was.
in
You was.
but in closing this subject out, just thinking about our boys and our bonds, we will have those bonds forever. No matter if we, you could do anything to your child, like not feed them for a week, they still are going to say, "Mom, hungry." They
Mhm.
hardly ever go to dad and say, "Dad, can
Right,
you?"
right, right.
Why?
They'll be like,
Because
Why? Oh
it's
bless
my
your
that
mother.
goodness.
it's that bond you have. It's that nurturing that they see in you, and sometimes we don't see it ourselves, but they see this in us. They know who to go to for that
Mhm.
rub and that hug. And
Mhm.
because some men are like, boy, get out my face, be a man up, things like that. But they know we'll sit there and we'll listen with our heart first,
Mhm.
because we have that kind of compassion, and it will never ever ever go away.
No, it won't.
So this, I don't know if this could be a part two, or maybe we could bring on a son.
Oh yeah, that would be
all
good.
Yeah.
right.
And
How about we bring on
specific
all our
content.
sons?
Oh, I
I'm
like
the
it.
one with all the,
Right.
all the,
You
so
got to pick your favorite.
uh, then all three of them are going to sit right here
Exactly.
around me, because
So who's your favorite child?
there
See,
is
my
no
favorite
favorite.
child is the one that I'm talking
Favorite,
to.
no
The
Right.
um,
I hear you, Tracy.
my actor is my favorite. My
Aw.
boss man is my favorite. Look.
Nah.
Okay. All right. All right. All
Hey,
right.
bye.
My independent career minded thinker, he's my favorite because of what he do. My my road dog, who is truly a road dog. He's out there on the road and he does the daggone thing. Don't know how he get it done, but
Get it done.
Do
he's
it.
my favorite for what he can do. What I'm saying is, our sons cleave to us for whatever reason or whatever comforts we give them, and that's why we give it to them, because we want them to pass that on
Mhm.
to their
Right.
born their sons or daughters or whatever.
Right.
So, not saying that we don't need a man, but we can do these things. It's just that we need the assistance of a role
Yeah.
model to
Yes.
show them the way,
Yes.
and that's all.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
And I
But
thank God for my dad because he's an excellent role
and
model.
there you go. All right.
All
So
right. Well, thank you, Cynthia.
you're
Bye, Cynthia.
welcome.
Yes, yes. And maybe, yeah, we may do a part two to this and bring a son or two or three or four or five, six, seven, eight,
Seven.
eight,
Seven.
eight,
I don't have that.
Eight.
Many. I don't have that.
yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, because I could definitely see some more that we can delve into this. Especially how they try to be your
Yeah.
father
Right. Let's
Uh,
ask our sons what they
when
think of their
when they get
mamas.
grown. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, we definitely can go into some other avenues of this.
Mhm.
But thank you so much, ladies, for that was a good segment. All right, so we're going to move on over to
Whoop, whoop.
the voice
Whoop,
of the
whoop.
community.
All
Hey.
right.
Hey.
Any
Ooh.
shout outs for this week, ladies?
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to Pascal Records, Mr. Eclectic. You can find him on YouTube at Mr. Eclectic.
And what is it that Mr. Eclectic?
Music, house music, all kinds of music arrangements.
Okay.
All
Gotta
right.
write that down.
Music arrangement.
Music arrangements. Okay. Cool.
I have a shout out how we're always supporting upcoming businesses. This is a young lady who is a Bowie State University student. Over this pandemic. As a matter of fact, she started her own lip line. Oh my gosh. It's
Ooh.
called Starstress Cosmetics. Her name is Asia Johnson. She can be reached at starstresscosmetics.com. And her lip paint does not get on these masks, ladies. So if you have to go somewhere and you're taking off your mask, it will not be on your mask. It will not be on your glass. It will not be on your straw.
Okay.
All
Nice.
right.
Definitely gonna have to try that
Starstress.
out.
Starstress is Starstress. Starstress.
Starstress
I'll be
Cosmetics.
sure to submit the information in so you can
All
find it on
right.
her social media platforms. Please support
Okay.
her, a young lady
Absolutely.
upcoming who had a vision and her mother supported her, and she is off to a great start.
Asia
Very nice.
Johnson.
All right,
All
Asia.
right.
And she is on Instagram if you want to go look at
Okay.
it. Just put in Star Stress and it'll
Or
come.
stress. Okay.
Starstress. Okay.
I'd like to shout out a young lady who does graphic designs. If you need business cards, flyers, invitations, whatever you need done graphically, classy, it is gracefuldesigns.co. It's her Instagram, and she's my niece, and she's wonderful.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
She does an
Good.
excellent job for her sorority and for people around, whoever's used her. It's called at gracefuldesigns.co. If you need
What
whatever
sorority?
design. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
All
Okay.
right,
Hey.
AKA.
Yes.
All right, all right, all
Yes.
right.
All
You
No,
said
right.
at Graceful Designs? Okay.
at gracefuldesigns.co. Yep, she does an excellent job on everything she does.
Good. Good. Good.
Good
Good.
greatness.
So I just want to shout out. I'm still on my. I don't even want to say vegan because I do eat seafood.
Right. So
But
you're called a pescatarian.
pescatarian. My no meats
Okay.
only.
Right, right, right.
So my friend over here, Zethray, took us to this restaurant called Dodah.
Dudas. What?
And I just
yeah.
want to shout them out because
Yes,
the food was
Dudas.
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Y'all
And
had a
they
date at Dodah?
and they have sweets
The
that are
desserts.
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Their desserts, I'm telling you, like my
Carrot
son
cake, lemon
ate the
cake,
cake. He didn't even
chocolate
know it
cake,
was vegan.
Oh my gosh. Y'all
Oh,
know
really?
y'all know I eat.
Delicious.
They got
I'm
any
a,
cheesecake.
chips? They got any
I'm a,
chips there?
y'all
No,
know I'm a
Stephanie,
cake
What?
you said
connoisseur. Y'all
dessert.
know I'm a cake connoisseur now.
Chips
Ooh,
is a
My
dessert.
middle name
ooh.
could be Cake. Oh my
Yes, so
God.
Tracy,
that
what
cake,
I
flavor
know.
you want? I'm
cake
gonna
is
get you the
delicious.
flavor.
I love when Rihanna made that song, Cake, Cake, Cake.
Yes.
I know they ain't talking about cake, but that is my
They
favorite
talking about
Oh
Cynthia.
my
pastime.
gosh.
What they
Oh
talking
my
about,
gosh.
Cynthia?
Where is the
So
chip,
you
chip,
can
chip, chip,
It's
chip?
cake.
so you
It's
can
the cake for me.
That's
you
the
can
cake for
reach
me
them
too,
on
Cynthia.
IG at Dudah's Kitchen. It's DODAH
The
apostrophe S Kitchen.
Where they
And they're
located?
located on 1210 North Charles Street in downtown Baltimore.
Follow
Okay.
me, I'll take you there.
All
Oh my
right.
God.
Follow
Where you
me.
going?
Follow me.
Yes.
I would like
Follow me.
to shout out my son, of course, because I
Mm.
would be remiss and a bad mommy if I don't. But my son is the
Absolutely.
bomb. He has a moving and hauling and cleaning company.
Oh,
He
okay.
is-
Good.
My son is the bomb.
Yeah.
Yes, he truly is
Is
the bomb. And where did he get it from? The
his
bomb.
trust me, believe
That's
there was
why
a village. There was a village. There is a
Hey,
village.
hey,
So
that's
I
right.
make
Get
sure
credit to the
Yes.
village.
there's a
Give
village,
credit to the
but it's
village.
TNS moving and hauling and cleaning. If it needs to be cleaned, my son will make it into a new space. He is on
Absolutely.
Facebook, TNS on Facebook. I'm not sure the IG, but the number is 1-667-305-0634. It's TNS hauling and cleaning, and he will take good care of you. Call my
Good.
son, make his life great.
Yes, yes.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, his
Oh,
name is
My
Teron
son.
Massey. I'm so sorry.
oh, okay. All right. Yes, ladies. Thank you so much for shouting out the businesses.
Absolutely.
For our
Right.
new listeners, the voice of the community is a segment where we shout out small businesses, entrepreneurs that we have experienced or know, or our family.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because of this trying time that we're in, a lot of people have lost their jobs. So we're
Mm.
just really trying to get some support for these small businesses that we know of and have experienced great service from. So if you are an entrepreneur or you know someone that's an entrepreneur or know someone that has a small business or have you went to a small business that you really enjoyed the services or the product, let us know about it. You
Mhm.
can go head over to our social media, our YouTube page, or you can hit us at our email at Mahogany Voices Podcast at gmail.com
That's
to
it.
let us know, and we'll shout it out in the next episode. Okay.
All
All
Absolutely.
right,
right.
all right, all right.
So
Right.
next up is Cynthia to pick the next topic for next week.
Got to find our resident
Yes.
Sarah.
Sarah.
It's picking
Let's go,
time.
Sarah. Let's go, Sarah. Let's go, Sarah.
Let me see. Sarah. Let's see where she is. I hope she didn't fall. It's early. You know, these young people fall
Yeah,
asleep at the drop of a dime.
Yeah, we doing it. We are doing a special recording session today. It's 2:00 or 3:00 till 4:00 in the afternoon.
428, 428.
Because of the Super Bowl, because we want to watch
Right.
the Super Bowl, so we had to come on early. To do
Thanks.
this. So we're just waiting for our
It's Sarah. Come on, Sarah, before I pick it for you.
Mahogany
Oh.
Voices Junior.
Junior.
Junior Miss.
That's a cool t-shirt too. I'm gonna make that. You gonna pick Sarah?
Sarah.
Can you say hi?
Smile.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Here you go, pick. Let's see. Upside down. That's the one we put back last week. How did they get back in here? All right. So, ooh, aging parents.
Ooh.
Ooh. Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
Can we
that's
put that back? Can we
That's a
put that
good
back?
one.
No.
That
That's
can
a
go
good
both
one.
ways. That can go both ways.
Ooh. That could be me
My
too.
parents-
Sarah, pick again, Sarah, pick again.
I'm an aging parent.
I say my children might want-
Sarah, come back,
Every
Sarah.
time I go to read something, I know I'm an aging parent. I'm like,
Every
"Used to
time,
wonder why my
right.
like,
Well, that was more so for people our age range dealing with our aging parents and the different
Mhm.
things that we're going through, just so people won't feel like they're in it alone. There are
Right.
other people that are going
Absolutely.
through the
Lord.
same type of
Very
issues
heavy.
and concerns with dealing with aging parents. So
Yeah,
that's
I only
what
got
that
one.
was more about.
I only got one concern.
So
No, save it for next
we'll
week.
talk
Right.
about it.
I'm
next
just
week.
saying. I only got
Save
one.
We got
Save
Let's
it for
be
next week.
Short and sweet.
Save it for next week. Save your short and sweet because you know your short and sweets turn into
Girl.
long and drawn.
long.
Long and drawn.
It wasn't long this week. It was short and sweet.
Thank God. It ain't gonna be long no more.
Because remember, I wasn't finished.
Right.
I don't know what
Okay.
happened that show.
You wasn't finished.
All right, so we got
It was
Sarah
too late.
down. Anybody have any last comments before we wrap this show up? Any last comments you want to say about the topic or
Yes. Great job to all the single parents out there
And not so single parents.
and not so single parents.
Because not everybody's single.
right?
So
Or
All
to the person who
right.
wanna be
Raising
single.
their boys. I'm sorry.
What
she
you
said,
say?
or to the ones who want to be single.
What you
I'm just joking.
Okay.
What you
I'm
say,
just joking.
Joanne?
Yeah, they really know they want to be single, but they don't want to say it.
What you
Hey,
say,
that
Joanne?
ain't funny. I was
Joanne
like
is
that.
about to talk. Joanne is about to talk. Okay, go ahead, Joanne.
I just like to leave this one note, one message for everyone who's watching and listening for the month of February. Such a beautiful month it is.
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
Oh,
There's an
boy.
announcement to make.
It is Heart Disease Awareness Month.
Yes.
And I think all women should be aware of that. Be aware of your bodies and be aware of that it is a disease that kills 1 in 3 women every minute. So the statistics are very high, and it's something that we don't take serious, and we can't take it for granted. So make yourself aware, get checked, know what's going on with your body. We don't just wear red just to symbolize that it's out of love or it's heart, but it
Right.
is a heart disease that kills us as women. So we need to take care of ourselves.
All right. Take care of yourself,
Yes.
shorty. And then on the last note, February 10th will be this show coming out. That was the day that the U.S. passed the Civil Rights Agreement, 290 to 130.
All right.
That's your Black History fact.
All right.
And celebrate every
Okay,
day.
so tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend and all your family too about Mahogany Voices podcast. And then we want you to go to our social media, YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell.
You just
Don't forget to hit that bell. My thing came up saying internet unstable or something.
We'll start all over.
it's
And
just funny.
and so yeah, and follow. Don't forget to follow. All because don't want to miss our episodes. So if you hit that bell on YouTube, it'll let you know, notify you of when a new episode is out, which comes out every Wednesday. Okay. All right. So as always, talk that talk, and don't be afraid to use your voices for good, not evil. Continue to be the MVP in your own life. And until next time, peace. Yes, it's over. Number 8 is in the bag. 2 more left to hit 10.
Son number 1.
Hey,
Yeah.
number one.
Hey.
How
I
y'all
like those
doing?
shades,
We
number
are
one.
ending.
We in
Bye
it.
bye.
Shades definitely
End with me?
fly.
How y'all gonna end with? I'm the beginning.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
Nah,
you know
mommy,
we gonna
that's
get
my-
you on
mommy
here,
number 2 right
Chad.
there.
That's
Hold
right.
up, look, I can't point like that.
Ooh,
Oh,
boy.
I'm sorry. I love all of y'all. Happy
We
birthday
love
to
you
me,
back.
every
Love you
single day.
too.
All
Them shades fly though. I need those shades.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely, he
so-
is too young. He's too young.
I
to
just
have
need the
backup.
shades, not the man. The shades.
All right.
Oh,
Girl,
duh.
the episode
That was
over.
my question.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
I like that.